Could you talk a little bit more about the public health topics that were discussed and what you would actually do as
Well, if I couldn't get a ban on the sugary and the large sugary drinks, I'd want to put a death label on them like they have on cigarettes, because they kill people.
Okay.
So did you win?
Oh, I don't know. That's all up to you. But from the number of questions that you have, you're waiting for.
on the Democratic side? Are you surprised at all by the lead that Mr. de Blasio?
No, I've known Bill since he was 3 feet high, and you know, I'm not surprised at all, because the Democratic primary is a rush to the left. Whoever can give away the most, whoever can promise the most, whoever can pander the most is going to win the election.
But then how do they come back and win the general?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? And I intend to be the Republican nominee, and I would love to run against Bill de Blasio, because this divide our city and tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich is not, look, New York City is down to 1%, right? Well, look at the places that have gone to 0%. Cuba, Sandinista. That didn't work out, and that's not going to work out in New York City. We can't drive all of the wealthy people out of New York City, because then only the middle class will be carrying the burden for the poor.
Why won't you disclose any kind of prescription drugs you're taking?
Oh, please. I mean, I said that I would have my doctor. You know, I'm not going to go on television and start talking about prescription drugs that I take. It should be enough for you all.
Well, they said that they said that they were all taking blood pressure medication.
I take blood pressure medication.
You take anything else?
I do, but I said I am not going to discuss it here. I said I would make my records available through my physician, that I had a physical before the election. Is this because I'm 69 years old?
No, everybody got asked the question.
I know, and I gave an answer. So now it's, why won't I disclose? I said I will disclose, but I am not going to discuss my medication in a debate for mayor of the city of New York when I'm telling you that my doctor gave me a clean bill of health.
It makes people wonder whether there's something that you're hiding.
Well, you know, go after Catsimatidis tax returns, will you? If somebody's hiding something, look there.
Why do you say that he's only friends with you because you paid him? With regards to
Well, because he's got some weird idea of friendship. He thinks that we're friends. I never have been to his house other than I paid $1,000 to go meet Hillary Clinton. Okay? That's the one time in all of these years that I've never had dinner with the man.
Would you want to?
No.
Why not?
I wouldn't.
Why?
Oh, please. Well, first of all, we're not friends, and, you know, I have enough friends. I don't need to go out to dinner with John. I don't, you know, I've never done any of the things that friends do. But he was at a debate, and he said, well, maybe we're not friends, but I admire you. And I said, okay, now we're friends. All right? I mean, so I don't know what to say about that. Joe and I have been friends since he was working for Rudy Giuliani. I like Joe. We get along fine. He's a lovely man. John, you know, you all have to make up your own decision about him. He's got $1 billion, so you treat him like he's a serious candidate. All right? I understand that.
Is he a
No, he's not a serious candidate, and you know he's not a serious candidate. You all know that he's not a serious candidate, but you know that he's got billions of dollars, so what does he do? He advertises on the TV, which I cannot. So therefore, right from the very beginning, I was going to lose the election, and the man with the most money is going to win. Well, I'm looking forward to the people actually. You know these polls that you all do? You measure 100 people, 130 people in these polls, 130 Republicans, and then you decide who the front runner is and who has what. The margin of error in the last poll was 9.5%. Okay? I had 12%, Catsimatidis had 22%. So couldn't it be flipped? Couldn't I be ahead of him? But nobody would ever report that.
But every poll shows you trailing. It's not just one poll.
Azzy, what did I just say?
You spoke about the margin of error, but you didn't
no,
speak about
I said the number in the poll are 100, 130 people. This is the city of New York. And, you know, let's be big time. Let's do a real poll. Let's measure the number of people that are going to vote in the Republican primary.
Well,
and then do the
I guess the real poll is the
What do you
election.
think that Republican voters will look for or would think about that would draw them to you ultimately?
Oh, it's a hand up over a hand out. I've spent 25 years providing tens of thousands of jobs to people. I know with the high crime areas, you know, that's a part of of New York City that nobody ever wants to talk about. They never talk about the poor people. They only talk about the middle class. How many times they can say middle class in a sentence, in a paragraph? Nobody talks about the poor people. I have experience with the poor people in our city, and I can offer them an opportunity to work, and that's what they need.
Mr. Catsimatidis is right here. He said that George says he's not your friend because he's only.
Yes.
I mean, George says he's not. You're not friends.
Well, first I wasn't, then I was, and now I'm not.
You're going to invite him to dinner?
I'll always invite people to dinner. I love people. I love to communicate with people. But it's all about, the real poll is going to be on September 10th, and that's what it's all about. It's going to be September 10th, and we're only 12, 13 days away from it, and we'll find out.
I don't know if you just heard him say, but he says you're not a serious candidate. The only reason why we're coming here is because you're rich.
Give me a break, okay? I have a lot of common sense. I have common sense solutions to everything we discussed. I've been doing politics for 20, 25 years. I know what I'm talking about. And
Well, does it make you angry when he says you're not a serious candidate?
coming from him to get angry, it's ridiculous to get angry for stuff like that.
Why?
It sounds like he's
What's wrong with him?
because you could put on your own
What's
ads.
wrong with him?
No, he has his own peculiarities, and everybody's entitled to have their own peculiarities.
Are you afraid that others, it sounds like he is, might be resentful about your wealth?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, I'm much poorer than Mike Bloomberg.
But you'll still sell for $1 a year.
99 cents. I believe, look, it's not about money. It's about maintaining the quality of life in our city, using Mike Bloomberg's plateau wherever we are, and rising even better. I want to be able to we have the greatest city in the world. I want to make it even better. It's not about anything else. It's not about money. I don't care about money. I want to be able to create jobs. I want to keep our streets safe. There's no way that we want to go back to the 1980s. Nobody wants to go back to the 1980s. Keep our streets safe. I'm going to freeze taxes. Our city, our state, is number 50 in the nation as far as people leaving our city that pay the taxes. And we got a serious problem. And we want to be able, if we freeze taxes, and the people from outside our city know that we are seriously running our city in a common sense way, maybe they'll come here and open up businesses, and maybe we'll create more jobs. And that's what it's all about, creating jobs, fixing our education system, because we have, in some parts of our city, our dropout rate is 35, 40%, which is not acceptable. Education, safety, and tax freeze our taxes, and create high-paying jobs. We don't want to create jobs that pay $8 an hour. And that's what I'm going to do. All my life, I'm the only one of everybody running that's created tens of thousands of jobs. I mean, I've had unions for 44 years. The leaders of the unions I deal with have said publicly, John is tough, but he's fair. And that's the real thing. I've been a CEO for 44 years. I've been a CEO in 10 different industries. So I'm well qualified. I tell people the funny one. I was the highest ranking layperson in the Greek Orthodox Church. It was 526 churches and 11 dioceses around the whole country. And I said, you know what I said to them? New York City politics is easy compared to church politics. Thank you very much for having me.
Just one more question. There was, excuse me, we had a piece today about Joe Lhota putting out a mailer, saying that you gave campaign contributions to David Dinkins when you could have donated to Rudy Giuliani. He says that means that he's not one of us. I don't know if that.
Well, if you do your homework, Joe Lhota gave money to Bill Clinton. Joe Lhota gave money to Lautenberg. Joe Lhota contributed money to his PAC at Cablevision, and they gave $1.5 million to Democratic candidates. What kind of games are we playing here? I mean, this is silly political games that our consultants play with each other, and but it's a serious business. The serious business is we care about New York, and which Republican candidate is capable of winning November 5th, because you need money to challenge the Democrats. And Bill de Blasio, it looks like he might be a winner, is going to be dangerous for New York City. It's very, very dangerous. We don't want to go down that direction. And I am the only one that has the capabilities of beating Bill de Blasio. And I did give money to Bill de Blasio if that ever comes back, about 100 years ago. I mean, when he, but I give money to all people.
Why did you give money to de Blasio if he's
Well, I was, I knew Hillary Clinton very well, and he was Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, and I didn't mind. He asked me for, I don't know, $1,000. I gave him $1,000.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. And
One over here, John.
yeah,
Over here.
yes. Quick one. Hi.
How does it feel that the New York Times and the major newspapers of New York are not on your side?
Oh, listen to me. The New York Times picked Mark Green over Mayor Bloomberg. So when it comes to Republicans, I think I'm getting an advantage when they picked me, when they picked my opponent.
Okay.
The New York Post, every opportunity they get, they give me a kick. Yesterday, they caught me yawning, so they wrote a whole story about me yawning. The day before, they wrote a whole story about me having a spell check problem on my computer. Give me a break. Enough is enough. And I did say this to Joe. If we're using the New York Post as a surrogate hit team, acknowledge. But, it is what it is.
Why do you think the Post doesn't like you?
Well, you have to ask who whatever. Look, it's not a Murdoch problem, because I don't have that problem with the Wall Street Journal. It's not a Fox 5 problem. I don't have a problem with Fox. I don't have a problem with Fox News. It's somebody at the New York Post that just doesn't like me. And that's the way life is.
Thank you very much.
It's okay. Thank you.
Mr. Loda?
Joe, you want to come over or you want us to come there?